All right, Lance Somerville. Um, Thanks for jumping on here. I run into people that are thinking about starting their own commercial brokerage or joining one. Um, Maybe they're in a traditional one. They just don't know much about what we know, where we are with eXp and eXp commercial specifically. I don't really know the questions to ask,
Yeah,
but I know you've got a lot of experience and can kind of talk to what other people are thinking. And so, why don't you
yeah,
go ahead and just start with your background and run with it?
yeah. Thanks, James. I've been in the industry for 23 years, and in addition to real estate sales, part of my life for some of that time and my former brand was doing franchise sales, and so that was really, um, you know, franchising meets real estate. Meets business brokerage, and did it on the West Coast in 8 different states. I ironically joined in the worst real estate market ever. So I was one of the goofballs who didn't get the memo, I guess. But right when I joined, 3 months later, the recession hit, which ended up being the Great Recession, which was a sweet learning opportunity. Actually, I sold at least, well, I put together different deals. So we did mergers and acquisitions, we did startups, we converted brokerages. So I looked under a lot of hoods, and I did upwards of at least 44 during my tenure, and it was a really good run. But the nice thing is that we were equipped with what questions to ask when looking at one brokerage versus another, right? And so, simply put, I get it. A lot of people look at brands and think, well, why would I pay them my money? And, not everybody wants to, but grand, big scale, when you look at how we're set up here at eXp, we're one brokerage. I can transact in different states, which is amazing. So we're not franchise to franchise. So we get a ton of sharing inside of our networks here.
Mhm.
You get ton of help across the country with, different advisory councils and a lot of different expertise that are being brought to the table. And the benefits are not only being able to transact across the US, but if you look at James Wong and how he's building our bench strength, he's bringing in guys and gals that are, 30, 40-year veterans. And I'm talking like if I can stand in a room and touch two people and collective experience exceeds 3.5 billion with a B, and that's not including my volume. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm dealing with some powerhouses, and
Yeah.
that's what we're building here. And so you got to ask yourself, starting a new brokerage, what's it going to cost you? Are you doing brick and mortar? What are you going to do to attract talent into your brokerage? Because you better have the next best thing, and people are going to come to you, and they're going to want high splits, and they're going to want tools and resources. And if you're not in a position to even offer, some of that on a basic level, you're going to have a churn and burn.
Mhm.
So um, I just look at that like, okay, that is one avenue to go. I'm not going to disrespect the people that do it. I just know that there's a there's a cycle in this industry where people come in, we train them, we try and retain them, and we lose them. And why do we lose them? Because they get really good at what they're doing and they want more. And because I'm running a brokerage, right? If I'm that traditional independent broker, I only have so much I can give. I only have so much time I can give. I only have so much, financially that I can give. And so I can't invest like we can here at eXp, where we have, this huge pool of money. And then we have these people that are masterful at building these agreements, right? So when you come over, we have a tech stack, um, you know, Realnex, Brevitus, we have a business broker CRM, we have Build Out. Our tech stack is just getting more and more and more every month. It's $250. All the contracts that you need to do business, it's it's ridiculous, and it's not something that can be paralleled on a smaller scale. You'll have to excuse me. I have someone who wants to join us here. Sorry about that.
Nice. We have a guest on the
Yeah,
show.
that's right. We got a guest here. Sorry about that. This is Luna. Hi, Luna. Okay, girl. So long story short, people need to start evaluating, what are they going to offer,
Yeah.
and what's that going to cost, and what's their threshold for splits, and taking on space, all those traditional type things. Well, when you come over here, it's a no-brainer. If I attract people in, just like this broker wants, maybe ex-brokers going independent, they want to attract people into their brokerage, they are looking for rev share, right? But they're going to do it different. Most likely they're going to offer a 50-50 split, um, with some kind of a cap, maybe annually. But the reality is that there's only so much they're going to be able to bend on that, right? So my whole point is why wouldn't you look at a system that's turnkey, build your own team? You can still do rev share on the people that you bring in. You can do deals across state borders. You have more referral opportunities. Just at a local level, we have 1,600 plus agents that are on the residential side, majority of which do not know how to do commercial deals, and they're going to need a referral partner. And you're going to have an opportunity to, win those referrals, um, just to generate business. Or maybe you want to mentor people, and there's an opportunity to make some money mentoring, help some people grow, and they could be part of your downline. So you could be bringing these people and sponsor them into the company, and you're still going to have a rev share component. Right now, I'm not focused. I think I mentioned earlier, I'm not heavily focused at the minute on, building my team, so to speak. But when I do look across the landscape, there's a lot of opportunity, and a lot of opportunity. So whether it's independents or even folks that are with other brands, we cap at $20,000 a year here in the commercial side. So once I hit 20K, obligation to the brokerage, the rest is mine. And then as I continue to earn and do my thing here, I'm going to start qualifying for stock. And as I icon out, I'll start getting that money, that $20,000 back in stock benefits that have to vest for 3 years. But I've never had that anywhere else. All
No.
I've done is put money into a black hole, with my other brokerages. And so it becomes a million, benefits to look at here, or just a ton, right? I don't mean to over exaggerate that, but
Yeah.
there's just so many great things to look at. I mean, I could probably pull up a list of 100 people that I just know in the marketplace, um, and they're at their big brokerage firm. They don't have a cap. They're just going to pay 50% every single time.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, sometimes it's an ego play for people. That's okay. Like, I just know where my loyalties lie, and that is, being able to financially be responsible for my family and myself. And if that means that I can't go play at that brokerage over there because they're going to always take 50%, I'm okay. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
So
It's a business decision.
yeah,
Money
yeah,
talks. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be okay. And so I don't know if that answers the question, but if I was an independent and I was looking at starting my own brokerage, have you done this before? Do you know what it's going to cost? And how much quicker can you be out of the box with an established brand versus starting your own?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I've got a buddy who was thinking about starting his own. Well, he had his own small brokerage.
Mhm.
He was wanting to build it and build out all the systems. And he had a mutual friend of ours that is a techie guy, um, that was starting to dive in, trying to figure out what it was going to take to build all that out. And he went back to the broker. He's like,
Yeah,
man, why do you want to spend do you want to spend all this money? He's like, I can do it,
Yeah.
and it's going to take a long time to build all this out. He's like, have you looked at eXp? He's like, it's all built there. It's all there for you, and it's affordable. And
It,
so that's
it,
what he did. So
it's built out, it's affordable. If I really need office space, I can walk into, one of the co-share workplaces that Regis has. I did it a week ago and it was fantastic. I
yeah,
just went in, it's like, hey, with eXp, they're like, cool, here's your conference room. So I don't really need that space, but if I'm building an independent brokerage and we're all remote, we're going to be pretty fragmented. And you're right, that cost of starting up, I mean, you're on a discount if you got a website, probably 6 grand minimum. Right. And then what are your signs going to cost you? Do you have any, you don't have bulk purchase power. We can go down a whole list and you don't
right,
have bulk purchase power. And you're going to just pay a premium. And so that's where you get stuck because there's only so many good splits you can offer, you know. Um,
right.
it's just I watch it all the time, and I watch people burn out
Mm,
versus like just hop into something that's turnkey.
yeah.
But some people like to push sand uphill. That's okay.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Is the other thing that kind of objections I've heard
Mhm.
from people was they want to retain their brand, right? They built this brand around themselves and this kind of culture. What's cool is like you're just using the platform eXp. You're like, yeah, we're brokered by eXp, but this is our brand. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm doing that myself on the residential side. I've got my team. It's legally you gotta have the logos in a certain size, right? But it's my team is my brand. It's not eXp. So,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, you're not losing anything. You didn't even skip a beat on your brand for yourself. And that's what I love about what eXp does is um they're they're very cognizant of that. I was with anybody can look my name up, see where I was, I was with a very agent-centric company and for 22 and a half years, never thought I would leave. And then, started looking over the fence and was super happy that I made the leap. And I will tell you that this is like agent centric 2.0. And part of it is also taking in consideration that, agents don't want to lose that brand. And so now it becomes, James Brown, and team, I don't know that, whatever your team name is, right? And not you, but just anybody, Lance Somerville and team powered by eXp. And I love that that's like the standard. That's the norm. So nobody's losing any visibility in the marketplace. But the engine that's underneath, is eXp.
yeah,
So, I've had more collaboration in this brand than I've ever had before. And it's really, I'm trying to figure it out and I think I understand it. And I think part of it is the fact that like, because we're remote and by and large remote we have access to brick and mortar, but because we're remote, I feel like people have really embraced that spirit of being remote and they're not gun shy on reaching out to people through workplace, through different avenues and creating relationships and building out opportunity, from one state to the next. And I really dig that. I think that's a pretty cool thing that we've got going on, so we formulate opportunities across the country really fast. And I think I don't know what else, I don't know what you've seen, but to me, I've talked to more people in states all over, and I was with an international brand before, but I feel like it's much more, there's more camaraderie, and it's not about what award you won. It's like, hey, let's do business. What do you got going on? Let's dig in, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's that's my experience. I hear the same thing from other people that have
Yeah.
come from the other side
Yeah.
constantly. They're like, this
Uh,
is amazing. Never seen it in any other company. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
digging it. I mean, it's cool.
yeah,
And I'm not a year in yet, so I'm really having a good time, you know,
Yeah.
really
Oh,
good time. Commercially, we've just have this huge network, and they're growing. And what I love is that they're bringing in folks that have, I mean, we've brought on, prior CBRE global presidents. We brought in prior, NAI global presidents, and so we're getting these guys that are coming out of traditional shops, and they're coming in going, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" And
yeah.
uh, we've got just incredible talent now, and they're building out capital markets divisions. They're building out corporate services divisions, and so they're doing it based off of what all these folks have grown up doing over 30, 40 years in traditional shops, and they're coming over to eXp, and they're setting up shop, and they're literally getting, watching this happen. They're getting the old band back together, and it's a really funny thing to see form, but it's really cool because there's some powerhouses coming over to eXp commercial, and these are folks that want to mentor and want to educate. I mean, if you could sit in a room with a guy who ran, Graystar uh, on the West Coast, and he's like, "Hey, here's my info. Let me know what questions you have." And it's about, multifamily. Where else are you going to get that access? He's someone that most people go pay to listen to speak. And he's been in charge of, in fact, he did 3.5 billion in sales and leasing himself. So where are you going to get that? You know, um, and now you get all these guys in the same room, and it's just like the star-studded cast. You're like, yeah, I'm in the right spot. Um,
Mhm.
I didn't know what to expect. I didn't expect this, but man, I'm in the right spot. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing that too, the REO space. Bunch of guys in my group, just all the badasses are coming over
yeah,
and just
crushing it. Yeah,
feeding off each other. It's just amazing. I got access to all of them, free coaching, you know.
that's it.
Yeah.
And everybody's got such good systems, and and they want to make sure that, like, you probably have people in different states that are like, oh, let me get you connected.
Hmm.
And that's a really cool feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, as my daughter says, sharing is caring. So we
Yep.
got a lot of caring people. So,
Yeah.
but
Awesome.
yeah.
Anything
What
else we
other
missed?
questions? I mean, what other kind of questions do you have for me? You
I'm
know,
just kind of winging it. That was great. Can think of
well,
anything else
I
you
think
had?
I think anybody who wants to, we can always get technical. We can always peel back the layers on what
Sure.
is that tech stack and what does it look like? What is that, once I make my contribution to the company, how do I get that stock back? What does that look like? We can always peel all that stuff back and take a closer look. But, what I would say is, if if you're ever talking to folks, James, and they want to hop on a call with us together, then let's do it. We can peel back those layers, you
Yep.
know.
Sounds
So
good.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, good chatting with you, and thanks for your time. I know you're a busy guy, so it's great to connect.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks.
All right.